Why is this SSP build taking so long? I thought it would be a quick project. Why is the car still sitting here on jack stand? Kind of really does suck. I'm also frustrated. What are the plans for this car? It's gonna take too long. Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and today we are going to talk about the elephant in the room. I really need to own up to you guys and tell you what's really been going on with the SSP, the FHP. You know, why is it still here? I bought this car back in June. This is November right now. Why is it still here on jack stands? No rear end. You can see there's no rear end. Here we are in November. That's why I got my coat on in the garage, because it's cold out here. But yeah, why have we basically really not made any progress? I mean, I say that I've got a video coming up on the FHP or the SSP, and in the video, you see me working on the rear end. I mean, how long did that take? I think it took a month. In real time, it took a month. It took even longer for you guys to see all the videos. So I'm gonna dive into that today. But before I start, I do wanna tell you one important thing, and that is I'm actually gonna be doing a Q&A video. If you ever thought of any questions you ever had for me, you know, you can definitely let me know. The way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna do two things. So for my Instagram followers, I'm gonna put up a post, read all the comments off of there, and I encourage you to get on Instagram. If you're not, you can find me on Instagram at Gearhead704, just like this YouTube channel. But if you're not on Instagram, and I know not everybody is, because I think I only have like 900 and some followers. I don't even have 1,000 followers on there, but, and a lot of you guys just don't do Instagram, which is fine, which is cool. I'm also gonna put up a post. So if you're subscribed to me, you can see kind of these posts, kind of like Facebook or Instagram post or whatever, and it'll pop up, and you can put comments on the post. So the other thing I'm gonna do for the Q&A video is I'm gonna put up this post, and I'm also gonna put it at the same time on Instagram. If you would just leave your question on one of those two places, you know, don't put it on both places, because then I'll just have your question twice. But that is going to be the very next video that comes up after this. So this video should be going up, you should be seeing this on Wednesday. The next video will be on Sunday, because I do upload, longtime subscribers know, 2 times a week, every Sunday and Wednesday. So look for that to come out, and please leave me a question if you have been wanting to ask me anything. You can ask me more questions about these cars. If I don't explain enough, or about this car, the SSP, if I don't explain enough about it in this video, definitely ask me any follow-up questions you might have, questions about Tar Heel Fox. If you just want to know questions about my life, I'll answer those, although if they get too personal, I probably won't answer them, but you kind of get the idea. It's a free-for-all, any questions you have, and I will try to answer them. So look for that coming next. But anyway, let's go ahead and talk about, like I said, the elephant in the room. Why is this SSP build taking so long, and where am I headed with it? What am I gonna do about it? So let's go ahead and get into that. All right, now the jacket is off. Let's go ahead and get into it. Even though it's cold, it's fine. But anyway, the car. So I bought the car back in May or June. I think it was June. Actually, Pony 1992 helped me get the SSP. Check him out on YouTube if you're not, because he's also trying to get to that 1,000 subscribers. But so yeah, Pony helped me deliver the car to my house. I actually bought this car from Dover, who he runs it. He does all the Cody swaps in FoxBodies. You've probably seen him a lot on Caleb's channel. I'm sure most of you guys are following Foxcast Media. That's where this car actually came from. And it was an original Florida Highway Patrol SSP car. And I'm just gonna kind of recap how we got to this point. So I bought it back in May or June. I thought it would be a quick project. I always wanted a coupe, and you know, SSP even better. You know, I didn't really know much about SSPs, not like I do now. I didn't even know this was a Florida Highway Patrol at the time. I didn't, you know, that didn't compute how cool that was. And back then when I got the car, it was doing this. I just can't stall because my battery will die if I do. And now you can see it's just been sitting here. It's basically been on jack stands, I think like 3 months, maybe 4 months now. I mean, I got no wheels here. It doesn't even have the rear end. I mean, that rear end project, I guess it's still not technically done because it's not in the car. So why is the car still sitting here on jack stands? I mean, at one point, I even thought this would make it to Foxtoberfest this year. I mean, who was I kidding? I guess I was just kidding myself. Hey. I put in the title like, this sucks. Well, it kind of really does suck because it's taken so long. And that was one thing I wasn't really prepared for. I thought it would be a lot quicker. It would go a lot quicker. I bought a bunch of tools, and once I started kind of getting into it myself, I realized I was in way over my head. That's just the truth. I said before on this channel, I'm not a mechanic, and I'm definitely not a mechanic, but Fox bodies seem pretty simple. Everybody said they were simple to work on, and I didn't realize how much there really was to being a mechanic. I mean, guys, I haven't even like done any home improvement work before. I'm not a do-it-yourself, I'm not a handyman type of guy, and so the project was a little bit big for me to take on, although I did have help. Mr. Automotive helped me out when he could, but he's got other things to do. He can't help me out all the time. And then luckily I ran into Matt from Fox Mustang Restoration. As you guys know, if you've been following the channel for a while, he's been helping me out a lot as well. And so we're making progress, but it's just slow progress. I can only work on this car once a week on Saturdays. That's the only time I get to work on it. I think it's about to be a lot quicker. The reason why I think it's gonna get quicker is the rear end is almost done. I mean, the rear end has been out, like I said, but the thing is, it's basically ready to go in there. It has the brakes. The only thing we need to do on the rear end now is I need to put new bushings in, okay? So before it goes back in the car, it makes sense to put new bushings in. So I'm gonna do that. Once that's done though, it'll go up in the car, and then the car will be towed to Fox Mustang Restoration. I'm towing it because I really don't even think I can drive it there. Let me give you a recap on the engine real quick if you're not familiar with it. Oh, and by the way, a subscriber actually sent me this. It's pretty cool. That was sent to me by the One Stop Pony Shop, Matt from that channel. Another Matt, I work with Matt from Fox Mustang Restoration. I mean, there's just Matts everywhere. Matt Serban, the Serbinator, but this is Matt from the One Stop Pony Shop. So a huge shout out to him for sending me this. This is so cool. I think my bezel is kind of cracked, so I'm gonna take a closer look at that. But now I got this replacement, and this came out of a Florida car. That's apparently a county in Florida. So it's got a tag on it, which is pretty neat. So thank you for that, Matt, I really appreciate it. But yeah, just to recap, I mean, we gotta do interior. Oh, this thing is really hard to open, guys. There we go. I need a new hood latch cable. I need a new door. Yeah, so let me open this here real quick. All right, and to recap, it kind of looks like a stock motor at first, but it really isn't. This is a 306. It just has a stock intake manifold on it for speed density. It's got headers, it's got trick flow heads, it's got a trick flow stage 1 cam in there. And these valve covers are actually carbureted valve covers because at one point the motor was carbureted. So I need to swap those out. It's gonna have some gas leaks. Obviously none of the heater stuff is hooked up. So there's a lot to still do on this car. And I think I put a video out a while back about everything I need to do to it, and not much has made progress. Things are going kind of slow because I can only work it on weekends. Can't really work on it during the week. So once I get it over there, I think I'll be able to tear into a lot more projects. But the whole reason the rear end came out of the car was I was gonna 5-lug swap my convertible. And I was just gonna pay a shop to do that. Guys, that's how I started out. I started out just paying other people to do the work. And while it is very expensive, it's also a lot quicker. It's a lot quicker than me doing it, but you save money this way, and I'm enjoying the work. It's just grinding on me that it's taken so long. But so the rear end came out of the car, and then I decided to not do the 5-lug swap. And then we got to looking at, hey, the rear end's already out of the car. What better time to rebuild it? So we tore into the rear end, found out it did need to be rebuilt. There was definitely all kinds of shavings and metal in there, and that's how we ended up with that. So I understand if you're frustrated with how long this build's taking. I'm also frustrated. And I was also, last weekend I had a wedding on Saturday. This weekend I've got something very special coming up for the channel. I'm not gonna be working on this car, anything to do with this car, but I've got something special that video is gonna come out a little later. So I'm doing that this Saturday. So I'm not even gonna be able to work on this. I had Foxtoberfest before that, so I'm not gonna be able to work on this until like another week and a half from today. So it's just gonna take a while to get this car done, and I'm kind of realizing that it's just gonna take too long. But that does not mean I'm giving up. The build is still gonna happen. I thank you guys who have been sticking with me for this long. I know I wanna see things happen quicker. You think about Brutal and how fast he turned around that Calypso clone. I mean, gosh, that is awesome. He's tearing it up, he's moving fast, and I wish I could move at the same speed. I'm not, unfortunately, but this is kind of reality for me. It's kind of reality. I'm trying to save some money on this build because, in case you don't know, I also have to rebuild the engine on my blue car, my convertible, my Tar Heel Fox. And I'm not, you know, as you saw that, if you saw that video before, I wasn't super happy about that. I am happier about that now, and I do have a full plan on that car coming, a full video of what I'm gonna do to it. So as far as the SSP, that's why we ended up here. Mainly because I didn't know what I was doing. And if you think about it, even if I would have tried to do all this myself, I would have just been in here in the garage, not getting any help from anybody else, I probably wouldn't be any further along with the build. In fact, it'd probably be a lot worse shape. I probably would have torn up some things more. So I'm very glad to have Matt's help at Fox Mustang Restoration. It's just been awesome for me to learn. I think he's a great teacher. So that is working out great. But I just want to let you guys know what was going on. There's still a lot to do. So what are the plans for this car? I am planning to do more of a stockish rebuild. Why? Well, I want to save money. Okay, because I have to do the motor in my other car, which that car is my favorite car, my Tar Heel Fox. In case you don't know, I've owned it for like 15 years. It's never going anywhere. So on this, I want to go as much budget as I can. That's why I did basically a stock rebuild on the rear end, but I did do 355 gears. We're gonna check the motor out. If the motor's good, I'm gonna keep it to 306, convert it to mass air, and I'm gonna have to change the intake manifold for it. I'm probably gonna put the GT40 that is currently on my Tar Heel Fox on here, is the plan. And I'm gonna do something different on Tar Heel Fox. You'll find out in that video. But I do wanna paint it. I actually want to paint it the Florida Highway Patrol colors. So it'll be, you know, it'll be black on the bottom and it'll have that tan color on top. Also the interior, I wanna try to go back. Yeah, that door's gotta be replaced. I wanna try to go back with the original tan interior if I can. And Matt seems to think we can do it cheaply. If not, you know, I could just replace it with any old interior, but he thinks it's be just as cheap to replace it with this interior and dye all the pieces than, you know, having to change the interior out. But it's pretty much gonna be stock. I mean, that's why I went back with drum brakes. It was cheap. So this is gonna be a 306, probably gonna put out somewhere around, I'm guessing 270 to 290 at the wheels. Maybe I'm overestimating, but I think it can do that with a heads cam intake. And solid, you know, paint it, interior, and drivetrain. That is what I want to do on this car, but I'm not going to go, you know, supercharged or anything fancy like that. Now I am going to do lots of step-by-step videos and how-tos. So, you know, if you like those and you also want to do the same thing, that's a big plan for this car, is just use it for the how-tos and step-by-step. The convertible is going to be a little bit more wild build. So stay tuned for that. But this has been very, very frustrating for me personally because I want it to happen so quick. I mean, another thing I'm really upset about, I got that new paint job on my Tar Heel Fox and it's sitting outside in the, you know, in the freaking driveway, while this thing is taking up all my garage real estate, you know, with the crappy paint. And now it's fall, you know, and I got leaves coming down and getting in my convertible, so I need this thing out of the garage. It's been so close. I keep saying it, but I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be happening pretty soon. So it's not that it's a bad car. It's a great car. It's just the fact that I am slow because I don't know what I'm doing and I can only work on it once a week. So I know I did a lot of talking tonight. I don't want this video to go too long. It's probably too long already. Thank you guys for those of you who stuck in there. I really appreciate it. I have a lot of supporters on the channel and you guys really are awesome. So SSP build, gonna happen, gonna be slow. Those are the reasons why it's gonna take time. If you just wanna see a very fast, quick build, you know, I'm sorry, I do too, but I just can't, I can't deliver that, unfortunately, unless I go pay somebody to do all the work. But I wanna do the work myself on this one, I really do. I wanna say I built this car. So, that is it for this video. Don't forget about the Q&A video, look for that. Love to answer all your questions. And that's pretty much it for this one, guys. So if you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. It helps me out a lot. And we will see you next time on Gearhead 704.